Thank you for tuning into our channel. My name is Steve Russin. Today we're going to be discussing why you'd want to be a PI and some of the training that we do here at the Private Investigator Training Institute.
My name is Pete McDonald. I'm a private investigator and I'm one of the managers of the Private Investigator Training Institute. Today we would like to discuss with you what our program entails, what's required to become a private investigator, and possibly answer some of your questions as to why someone would want to be a private investigator.
As far as the licensing process goes, we get a lot of questions from prospective students. Do I need a private investigator license? You can work in-house for attorneys or corporations as an investigator, but to get the full experience, if you're going to make this your profession, you definitely want to be licensed as a private investigator.
And also, you definitely want to get as much training as possible. In the state of Florida, the required standard as dictated by the state is Florida Statute 493, which is a 40-hour course. It discusses the do's and don'ts of private investigating, but it does not tell you how to be a private investigator. Hence the value of our course. We are investigators. We're on the road, we train, and so we bring to our training program the knowledge. The hands-on program that we offer is directly from our experience and from our years of doing this. So it's very hands-on, it's very real-time, and we give you the information you need to be successful, to make a career decision, and be successful in this business.
Yeah, that's a good point. Pete said that the minimum requirement is a 40-hour course. That we do teach that here at the Private Investigator Training Institute. However, we teach a second course entitled the Professional Investigator Program. That's a 364-hour course, and it's much more in-depth. It kind of gives people the skills and knowledge and information they need to step into an entry-level position as a private investigator. I think one of the reasons that Pete and I started the Private Investigator Training Institute, years ago, we would sit around and we would train investigators, and we would have them ride along with us. We would sit them down in the office. We would spend a lot of time and a lot of man hours training these people, and to find out months down the road that they weren't going to work out. So one day we're kind of brainstorming. We said, you know what, let's kind of better the industry by opening a school and training people to become private investigators. That way when they get out there, they know what they're doing, and they can kind of step right into a position rather than spending their time and an agency's time in training and find out that it's not going to work for either party.
All right, and we do this full time as far as the investigating business. We have our instructor has been at this for 45 years. He has written numerous books, and he has a wealth of experience that he brings to the table. It's very interesting, I find, for a new student coming in to have all of that experience available to you. There are different areas of investigation. People might have questions regarding gray areas. Can I do this? What's required? And we can explain, we can walk you through that process. We can save you money by guiding you as to what equipment you would need. We will definitely encourage our student not to invest before discussing it with us, because very often they might be purchasing equipment that's not required at the time. So it's a hands-on situation where we will show them the equipment we're using, the kind of camera equipment, recording equipment, and so they can make a correct purchase. Our program is very informative and definitely very hands-on.
One of the questions that we get from prospective students or people interested in our program is, do I really need this training? Is this training necessary to become a private investigator? It's not necessary, but any type of training, any type of knowledge, any type of education you're going to get in whatever field you're in is going to be beneficial. We have developed this curriculum to touch on all the different key aspects of investigations. So when someone gets out there, they're not going to have to look at a book or read a computer to know what they're going to do. They're going to be faced upon situations where they're going to get in those situations and know what to do because they've had a little bit of experience in the 6-month program. We take actual cases or problems from cases from Desnoes Investigations, and we brainstorm with our students so they kind of get a real-world experience and a real-world atmosphere as to what goes on in the investigative industry.
Well, one of the difference also is if you are entering the investigating business, and this is a decision that I made, do I want to be entry-level investigator for the next 10 years, or do I want to be able to open an agency to actually manage my business and to know what's going on, to make a decent living at this profession? There's a difference with do you just want to remain an entry-level person, or do you want to move up the ladder where you can use your skills that you've learned here? Because our program encompasses all the different areas of not just being an investigator on the road. We teach you how to market your business. We teach you, to reach out to clients, how to access information, how to form a company. We will discuss insurance that you might need. We give you a full scope of what the industry requires for you to be successful. Steve and I, we love being on the road, but at the same time, we manage our business. This is our career. This is not just a hobby for us. This is what we do. We make a comfortable living, and that's the benefit of the training program, because we give you a well-rounded training course that you can be a professional at this, both to start your business, to manage your business, how to run your agency, what the state requirements are, so you are comfortable making this a career. And you have the option where you can also bring in investigators that you train as your business grows. So we give you all that information with the, hopefully you want to move up with your business, and we provide the information for you.
Yeah, one of the key points that Pete touched on, and I wish I was or had the experience that our students have today, is marketing. There's a lot of great investigators out there. There really are, and we have a lot of competition in Florida. I think, as opposed to any other state, I think there's probably more investigators than there are in many states. But marketing is super important, and I didn't really learn marketing when I started in this business. I started as an investigator, and I worked for a nationwide company and got a little touches of marketing. What we developed here at the Private Investigator Training Institute is a 16-week internship program developed by our marketing and sales manager, Sam Fenor. And we are going to take the students on this 16-week journey, and a lot of that is going to teach them how to sell themselves as investigators. Not only are they going to learn the investigative skills to do the work in the field, but they're going to learn how to sell themselves and create that marketing that's going to make them a successful businessman or woman. And with the changes with social media and technology, I think that's super important in this day and age.
And it's also a very worthwhile career. If you're good at this and you're able to market yourself, you will have a successful career. There is a tremendous amount of business to be had in South Florida if you know where to look and if you're a professional at this. We've had successful careers. I've been doing this since 1996, so we've been doing this jointly like 20 years together, and it has been a very good, I can't think of anything else I'd like to do right now. I do enjoy this. I get up every morning. I can honestly say I bounce out of bed and I'm excited to start my day. It has been rewarding for me, and I do enjoy it. I still enjoy it after 20 years.
But you have to like what you do, or you're not going to do well at it, and you're not going to be successful. So I feel the same that Pete feels as far as that. I love doing this. I wouldn't do anything else. I couldn't even see myself changing or going to a different industry, but I'm thankful that the work has been there, and I think our results have kind of taken us to this point, and we like to share our knowledge and our skills that we have with other prospective investigators and help them be successful in the industry as well.
Another thing to point out is the investment of getting into this business is extremely small compared to a lot of other businesses. You're not going to bankrupt yourself, buying stock, purchasing merchandise, renting spaces. So the overhead is very minimal compared to a lot of industries or a lot of other professions, and the rewards are there. The industry we're in, it's also, I do not see anywhere in the distant future that this product is going to go away. It's very necessary, it's very today, and I see into the future where someone getting into this business has a bright future for many years to come.
And I think maybe down the road we need to put a video out about the myths of becoming a private investigator, because there's a lot of
very true
misconceptions that private investigators have, and a lot of things on the television that you see that people automatically think, oh, look at this private investigator. We're professional people. We run
back to this is why we started this training program, because we need, I have seen, when I got into this program back in 1995, there was not a lot of formal training, and very often when I look around, some of the people who started with me did not keep up, did not continue their training, did not continue educating themselves in the industry, and they kind of fall by the wayside. If you're going to do this as a business, and again, we teach you to be business oriented, to be professional, getting into the private investigating business, if you're making a career out of this, you need to educate yourself and you need to keep learning. It's an ongoing process. Technologies change, the laws change, you need to keep up.
Knowledge is power. And you mentioned formal training. I have a degree in criminal justice, and it really didn't touch on becoming a private investigator. Well, it touched on it, but it didn't give me a good background on how to become a private investigator. And I was lucky enough to intern with a private investigator my last semester of college. And then when I was in the internship, one of his ex-interns came in who was a manager of an investigative company, and this goes back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And he asked the owner, do you have any prospective interns? And here I was, I was the only intern, so I was lucky enough to get hired by this investigative agency. And here's your file, here's your video camera, go do it. And that was my training. I didn't know what to do, I didn't know how to do it, but I learned on the street. I learned from other investigators. I learned by making those mistakes. And hopefully with our 6-month program, we'll be able to eliminate some of those mistakes and help these people to be successful investigators and make a career out of it.
And with our continued open door policy, everyone that graduates here have the opportunity to, at any time, 6 months from now, a year from now, they're in a situation where they need some advice, call us. We also have our instructor, Steve Milan, is willing to meet with you. You can come back and you can do over a course that you might have not been using. Let's say, for example, you're now with a firm that requires you to do a lot of witness statements. Come on back. Come and do the course again. I mean, the witness statement part of the course, get a refresher course. Educate yourself, see what has changed, see what's new. get comfortable with it, go back out there. We have an open door policy. We're always in touch with the students who want to reach out to us. We always make ourselves available.
Yeah, and that's kind of it in a nutshell. We want to help people become professional, successful investigators. So if anybody has any comments or want to reach out to us through our social media, you can leave a comment below or hit us on our website, our Twitter, our Facebook pages. Please stay tuned for some of our next videos. We're going to have instructional tips, tricks, and industry news that may be beneficial to some of you.